Thank you. Mr. Walkup.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would like to address briefly this morning the issue of pensions and the IMRF that has surfaced over this past year. Senator Althoff has taken the lead on this recently and has introduced a bill which has passed the Senate that makes some attempts at fine-tuning the pension system as it applies to local elected officials in counties, municipalities, townships, and other local government bodies. What it does not do, however, is address the overall question. What I'm hearing from the public as well as other local legislators is that the public does not want local or state legislators to receive pensions, period. Our own pensions are a case in point. We are solicited to sign up for our pensions during freshman orientation before we have even been sworn in as new board members, and at a time when we don't know anything about our jobs. Some salient points of the pension system are also not highlighted at that time. For example, it was news to many board members this year that once they signed up for the pensions, they are not thereafter allowed to withdraw. In fact, even in the past couple of weeks, when I've spoken of this with other board members, they were not only unaware of it, but positively refused to believe me and wanted to seek verification from other sources. It's like Roach Motel. You can check in, but you can't check out. Or maybe Hotel California. You can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave. This is unfortunately not addressed in the bill, which is now being shepherded through the House by Representative Jack Franks. Another even more disturbing situation, which is likewise not emphasized to new members, is what happens if you don't vest. A few years ago, the period of time which was required to vest the pension was increased from 8 to 10 years. This sounds like a good thing, evidencing responsible government. However, in the case of elected officials, who usually have 4 or 2-year terms after which they have to be reelected, it means that they have to be elected to 3 terms of office to vest in the pensions. This encourages legislators to become career politicians in order to qualify for their pensions. What is more disturbing, however, is what happens to the money that has been put in when someone does not seek election or is not elected to a 3rd term. Although the money that the member put in personally is returned, the portion put in by the governing body that employed them, which means by the taxpayers, is retained by the IMRF. Bear in mind here that the IMRF, despite its name, is not an agency of the state, but is a private company interested in making a profit. Therefore, the taxpayer money is taken out of the government and given to a private company. The amount may also surprise you. The contribution amount of the legislator at the local level is 4.5%, but the governing body's contribution is around 10.25%, or about 2.5 times the amount put in by the member. This is even more egregious, therefore, in the case of a county board member who are paid $21,000 a year, the share that is lost to the taxpayers over, say, 8 years is more than $17,000, almost a full year's salary for a board member. This is even more egregious where the member has decided to advance self-imposed term limits on themselves to less than 3 terms. Now, you'll remember that the Supreme Court has decided that we are not allowed to term limit ourselves, and that has to come from a constitutional amendment put on the ballot by the General Assembly. These members are told it is nevertheless a good idea to join MRF for the deferred tax advantages. What is not emphasized, however, is that now IMRF will be getting over $17,000 of taxpayer money when the member retires. It's a scam perpetrated by IMRF company on unsuspecting newly elected local legislators and on the local taxpayers. It is a transfer of taxpayer money to a private company to enhance their profits and allow their executives to be paid large salaries totaling, as in the case of the chief executive, to nearly $300,000 per year. The bill now being handled by Representative Franks does not attempt to change this. The situation is far worse in the state legislature, which is not part of the IMRF system. There, the average lawmaker makes over $80,000 per year, also for part-time work, but the taxpayers contribute over $120,000 per year just for the pensions, for a total of over $200,000 per year per state legislator. I'm therefore going to be calling on our board to do 2 things. First, I do not think that we should continue to receive pensions, notwithstanding the possible passage of the Althoff-Franks bill. I believe that we should terminate our involvement effective with the new terms of office that begin in December of this year. This will not affect the ability of those members who have vested to receive their benefits. Why try to make something work that shouldn't exist in the first place? Second, I will call on our Legislative Committee Chairman Provenzano to place on the agenda for the next Legislative Committee meeting a discussion of an initiative to remove the pension system for all legislative officials, whether local or state, while allowing those who have vested to keep the pensions they have contributed towards. McHenry County has for some reason been singled out for the problems of the entire pension system in Illinois. Therefore, it is only fitting that McHenry County be the catalyst and provide the leadership for change. Thank you.